Hello everyone, it's Shirley here. I have my box of jogging fleece or knit fleece scraps beside me, and today's just a random sewing. And what I'm going to do, I started a while back making 4 patches out of my scraps. Some of them are 5 inches, some of them are 6 inches square. And all I'm going to do is just sew them together in a 4 patch and put them together for a little dog blanket for my daughter's dog. And so the scraps came from many years ago when my kids were young. I would make them most of their clothes. And so all of these pieces, I just cut them down, put them in the box, and my 2 daughters actually like it because they look at things and say, "Oh, Mom, I remember when you made that." Like I said, I started this a while back, and when I work on some projects or whatever, I take a piece of freezer paper and I usually write down what needle I used, what thread, the stitch length, and everything. So on this project, I'm going to be using a universal 8012. I'm going to use Gutermann thread, and my stitch length I'm going to put at 2.0, and the seam allowance I'm using on this is going to be 3/8 of an inch, and I'm going to press my seams open because of the bulk of the fabric. Like I said, I have some put together here. I'll match these ones up, and then I'll probably just do some chain piecing, putting the colors together that I have here. And when I get them all done, I'll cut them down to size and put them together in a dog blanket. So I do have, like I said, I do have some of them put together. Pardon my messy room and everything, but I thought maybe you'd like to come along anyway. See the mess and see how I put these together. There's probably many ways that people put this together, but this is just what I do. And it may not be exactly right, but so far it has worked for me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on with what I have here. I've made one little 4 patch here, and put them all to the side, and then I'll just press them all. And I do have in this box, I should tell you too, I do have some t-shirt knits. And the other thing is I use these for is if I'm doing an applique or something like that, I just take a scrap from my box here and then use that. So I'm just going to line up my center seams. And again, I'm not being very particular here because this is going to be a dog bed, but or dog blanket, and I have no idea what I'm going to end up with when it's all done, but it's just some random sewing. I've set my machine up for a 2.0 stitch length, and I also have a Dritz magnetic seam guide that I'm going to use as a guide for my 3/8 inch seam allowance. So I'm just going to start stitching this, and again I'm going to put my seam guide down and just line it up with the edge of my presser foot, and that will give me approximately a 3/8 inch seam allowance. I'm not back stitching at the beginning and end because I am going to be trimming these down. When I come to my seam allowances intersecting, I'm going to be using just a little stylus or whatever just to hold my seams down so they don't open up and they're laying flat. We'll see how I did. Ooh, that's perfect. Okay, so now I don't have a match to that one. And don't have a match to that one. I've got two here. So these two, and I've got two here that match. So I'll just sew those into a 4-patch. You can see they're not exactly perfect, but we're going to trim everything down in later. Okay, so I'm going to sew some of these up and I'll be back and show you my progress. See you in a bit.